What's in my bag as an adventure photographer? I've just been on a hike with Fjällräven, creating content for them for multiple days. During this hike I was responsible for the photography and the videography of the entire event to capture it and make some amazing stuff for them. I won't be able to show any of that yet because they haven't published it and I can't publish it before them, but as soon as they publish it I'm going to share it on this channel. Anyway, let's get to it. During the hike I used this bag. This is Fjällräven stuff. It's Abisko Friluft 45 liters. I had all my camera gear in this bag as well, but just so I could show this one easier, I packed it here now in my wandered bag. This one was also on the trip, but I didn't use it while walking. Something to just say beforehand is that during this specific hike, I didn't need to carry my tent and sleeping bag, and I also had the possibility to have power in my tent during the nights. This is not something you can do if you're out by yourself, of course, because then you have to carry everything, but since I was working, they actually brought my things from camp to camp. So all I had to carry was my camera stuff and the different kind of clothing that I needed during the day when I needed to change if it was started raining, it got hot, and also the food, of course, for the day. I use the Sony A6700, which is an absolute beast. The reason this is so good when you're traveling is because of the size, of course. It's smaller, it's an APS-C, which means it's a crop sensor. It doesn't capture quality quite as well as a full frame, but a full frame is much bigger and the lenses are much bigger. And yeah, so this is definitely a perfect travel, adventure, all that kind of stuff camera to have. Also, this camera has fantastic AI focus, so the camera does all the job for you. This camera is, well, it's great, and I got a video about the camera itself that you can check out in, I will put a link in the end of the video and below. So I'm not going to talk more about this specific camera right now, but yeah, perfect for this kind of stuff. For 95% of the time, I used the Sigma 18 to 50mm f2.8 for two reasons. Number one, the size. It's super small, easy to have, and easy to have on a gimbal. Number two, it is a zoom lens. Obviously, you are going to get better quality if you have a prime lens, but then you won't have the same versatility as you have with a zoom lens. Something that's super important when you do videography is the sound. The sound in the camera, it's okay, but it's definitely not good enough if you want to have high quality. So I have used the Sony, I'm gonna check on my computer here, Sony ECM-M1 microphone. It's a very small microphone, as you can see, and it's very good even though it's small. One of the things that make this extra good, if you ask me, is that you don't need any battery and you don't need any extra cables, because you just put it in like this, make it sit tight, and then you're all good. Also here on the back side of the camera, of the mic, you can change which way you want to have the sound come in. If you want it to be global and take in everything, you can use this one. If you want it to have just, for example, me right now talking and the person in front of me talking and not the stuff happening on the side, you got a choice down here, and yeah, you got multiple choices to pick between. The size also makes it easier to have it on a gimbal. Except from this, you also need a ND filter when you are doing videography. If you do not know why, I would definitely recommend that you look it up. I will go through it real quick here. Basically, when you film, you want your shutter speed to be double the frame rate. So if you film in 50 frames per second, because you want to slow it down and make it a little bit cinematic, then you have to have your shutter speed at 100. You don't want to pull it up to 1000, even though it's super bright outside. Therefore, you use this, which is a, as everyone says, sunglasses for your lens. You put this on. This one is a variable ND filter, which means that I can make it brighter or darker depending on the conditions. So this one goes from 3 all the way up to 7. This is what I used. I always use an ND filter when I'm filming, except if it's quite dark outside during the night or something, then I maybe don't need to. But 99% of the day I use an ND filter on it. With this camera you have in-body stabilization, which means that you can use this handheld, just like this. But a lot of the time I want to have some movement in it as well. So therefore I also used DJI Gimbal. This is the RS3. No, this is the Ronin SC. That's the one it is. It is a smaller one than many other gimbals, and one feature that's really good with it is that you can pick it apart like this. This here is the battery. You just put it on, smack. Once you have it on, you flip this and it's stuck there. You screw this on. You don't have to have this on, but it's definitely easier to have, because then you can hold your grip a bit wider like this instead of just using the small one. And also if you want to put it away or have it standing still like this. So every time I did a shot when I was walking or moving or anything, then I had my camera on my gimbal. So this is basically all you need if you want to make a pretty good video or even very good video. But if you want to make it extra good, that's when you want to bring even more stuff. I also brought the Sigma 10 to 18mm f2.8. This is an ultra wide lens that's perfect for landscape and to capture, if you want to capture a lot at the same time. Even though this is a very good lens, I did not use it. The reason for that being is that when you're walking all day, you need to be quite quick and capture stuff along the way. So I didn't want to change lenses often. And if you're using a gimbal, which I'm using, you have to recalibrate the gimbal each time you put on a new lens. So therefore, actually, this one was left in the bag, sadly. There were a few moments when I wanted to use this, but it was pouring down rain and I didn't want to open my bag to put on the lens, switch, take one photo or one short video, open my bag again, switch lens, and so on. So if I wasn't walking as much, you know, when you're with the camera, you're walking, the backpack is heavy, everything's heavy, you want everything to be as easy as possible. So therefore I didn't use this lens. Great lens, but I didn't use it this time. Another lens that I did use, especially during the camps, is the Sigma 56mm f1.4. Two reasons. The main reason is because it's a prime lens and it has f1.4, which means you can get these really blurry backgrounds and cool shots. I also really like the focal length, 56mm, since a crop camera, which I use, is 1.5 crop. It's pretty much the same as the perfect portrait lens, which is the 85mm for a full frame. So that's why I really like this lens. I used it a lot during the camps. I didn't use it very much when we were actually walking, but during camp, perfect. So those are the three lenses that I brought. If I were to pick only one, as you probably understand by now, the 18 to 50mm, it's enough. You don't need the other two for a hike like this. But as always, it's nice to have multiple choices. Apart from that, I also brought an extra camera body. Since this is a very small body, as you can see, it's, well, in my hand like this. It's not much bigger than my hand, it just slides down like this, takes no space at all, basically. This is the Sony A6300. I didn't use this because the A6700 worked perfectly all the time, but since this was a job and not just for my personal life, I had to make sure that I could have a backup if anything was going to be a problem. So therefore I had this just in case. The APS-C, they have the same lenses, so I didn't need to bring any extra lenses. I just used the same one if something would happen. An extra battery. If you have more than extra battery, go for it. As I said in the beginning, I was able to charge my batteries in the tents during the night because Fjällräven made sure that I have electricity in my tents. So I was lucky. If I would have done this without power, then I would have to bring like 4 batteries, I think, at least, because it's multiple days and I capture quite a lot and use the camera basically all the time. But since I could charge, I only use 2, so I use 2 batteries per day, but I filmed more than I would have needed to. Let's carry on and take a look in this one. This is a DJI OSMO Pocket 3. Wow. This camera, super small. It has a gimbal built in, so when I flip the screen, boom, the camera turns on, and this works as a gimbal. The shots were very smooth. Obviously, I can't do like this and get smooth shots, but as long as I'm holding the camera pretty steady when walking, this worked absolutely perfect. I use this camera mainly as a vlogging camera, and for that I use this camera. You can do like this, press this 3 times, the camera spins around. Now I can film myself. It also has face recognition, which means that it focuses on my face and basically make sure that I'm in frame. Even if I do like this, the camera will start to spin around and follow my face, tracking it. We can see if it moves. You can see it moves now. I'm holding still and I do like this, and you can see that the camera, well, I think you can see that the camera is actually following me. Absolutely fantastic camera. If you are going for a vlogging camera and you don't want to use all this big stuff, you just want to make something easy for yourself and you're out with a family, whatever, and you travel light, this one I recommend. It's better than your phone, it's still very small, and you can get stable shots without any problems at all. Perfect, really good camera. Combined with this camera, I also had in the same little package here a mic, DJI mic. They have really good mics, and it's via Bluetooth. So I just put this on here, whoops, connected to this one, and I can talk and be quite far away. I never went too far away without being able to speak, so I'm not sure about the reach. You can probably Google that, but yeah, great setup. Also in this little package I have a bigger handle, a bigger grip. That's not all this is though. When you put this in, just like that, now it's in, this one gives, it's as a battery as well. You don't need this, but it's nice to have. This was a new little toy for me. Here we have DJI Mini Pro, a drone. So much fun to play around with, first of all, since I never ever had a drone before this, and to be able to just boom, fly up there and see everything from above. Also really great to have a lot of shots from above, just to put in like a little bit here, a little bit there during the video, to get some environmentals, landscape and all of that, just a new angle that not everyone can see all the time. Some people have drones and they can see it whenever most people don't, and then it's really nice to have a drone. This one is super small. Yeah, it's tiny. It's 249 grams, which means that you don't need a lot of license to use it, which, if I understood correctly, if you have a drone that's above 250, you need some kind of license. If I'm wrong, please someone comment and tell me that I'm wrong. Perfect for a beginner. It has sensors, so I can't crash it. I can't. Even if I try to go straight into this lamp right here, it will stop. So yeah, that's all I had when it comes to camera gear itself. Yeah, also this one to control the drone. You don't need this. This is the fancy one. I'm not completely sure what they're called, but they have a cheaper one as well, where you can use your phone as controller instead. But it's super nice to have it like this, and I recommend it. Apart from that, I also brought 2 coins. This is to be able to, let's see where I have it. On my camera, if I have it on my gimbal, I use this mount, and I use the coin just as a screwdriver. The reason that I switched these is because I also got this little thing here. That's a Falcon F38 from Lansi. I use it to have on my backpack, the strap. So I put this on the backpack here. Then this little mount here, you put on the camera. Put on the camera like so. It is easier when you actually have the camera to hold. And then it sits here. When it wasn't raining, I could walk, have this here, take a good shot, a short video, all set. So that's why I had these coins as well, just to be able to change mount on the camera. Oh, I'm talking a lot. This lens cleaner, you always need it, especially when you're out walking a lot. And when it was raining, as it was pouring down a lot of the time, I had to use this all the time just to try to wipe it off and get it clean and get it away, take away all the drops. Here comes the boring stuff, a little bag with extra batteries. You need a lot of extra batteries. This is the drone batteries, and I have other batteries in that one as well. And also another small bag with charger and loads and loads of different kind of cables, so I could charge everything during the night. And let's see if there was something else. I also got a sock. That's not supposed to be there, but if you are interested, now you know that I have socks in my bag as well. Oh yeah, I didn't use this, a power bank, just in case. Since I could charge every night, I didn't need it, but I had it as well. So that's actually it. To sum it up before I say thanks for watching, What you definitely need. If you're gonna film, you need a microphone, you need a camera body, and you need a lens. Yeah, and an ND filter. I would recommend this setup right here, as if you want to go super lightweight and don't want to have everything, then you're all set with this. This is the number one thing that I would definitely bring. Combined with this one, so you can put it on the backpack. After that, if you want to take it to the next level just a little bit, bring a gimbal as well. This will help you to get those stable shots. The next thing that I would have in my priority list is the drone. It's also super small and it gives you, well, obviously you can't take the same shots with this and this. With the different lenses, you're still going to be on the ground. With the drone, up in the air, so this one makes the biggest contrast from each other. So here is the setup that I would go with next. After that, the controller as well. After that, I would have gone for the DJI OSMO to make that one join as well, the pocket. After that, I would have chosen the 56mm to add this one as well. The extra body is just for security, so I'm not sure if I'm going to count that one in my priority list or not, because I didn't need it this time, but it's always good to have an extra body. The power bank, didn't need it either, but same thing, it's just good to have as a backup. Lens cleaner is obviously also a must, the cables, the batteries. The only thing that I wouldn't bring in this specific case was the 10-18, because I didn't use it at all. However, that doesn't mean the lens is bad. The lens is great if you want ultra wide shots. I just didn't have time to change it. And I think that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. As I said in the beginning, I also had a lot of different clothes like jacket, rain setup, and all that in the bag at the same time as well. So it was quite heavy. But yeah, you need those stuff if you're gonna walk in different kind of conditions. Sunny rain all the time. This is Scandinavia. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.